What's going on, everyone? My name is Sherwin, and in this video I want to talk about Project Highland, or the Refresh Model 3. Yesterday it was finally announced, but it is only available in China at the moment, and you could actually go to Tesla's website in China, tesla.cn, and you can view all of the specs and details that they have announced, and I believe you could even order it. A lot of stuff is in Chinese, but you could use, like, if you have Google Chrome, you could use a translator and it'll try to translate as best as it can. And it looks like its estimated delivery is Q4. So I want to break up this video into 3 different sections when discussing the changes that have been announced. The first section I would call meh. The second section I would say okay, nice. And the third section would be, well, that's what I'm talking about. So first, let's talk about the meh changes coming from someone who already owns a Tesla. The first thing I want to talk about is the interior LED lights. Now, this is actually a great addition, but it's not something that I would actually go out of my way and be like, okay, you got to get this car because of the LED. It is a nice touch, especially the starting price is still $40,000. You finally get interior LED lights. Now, the pictures that I've seen have only shown red color, so I'm hoping that they have a way to change the LED colors, just like how you could change the exterior color of your car on the screen. The next one is the LCD screen in the rear, and this is a meh because the implementation of this is really bad. Going by Model X and S refresh, the reason for it is, okay, yeah, it's great that people in the back seat can control their temperature. They could, do all sorts of things on the screen in the back. But the biggest boo-boo, man, I don't think I could be wrong about this, but if this is just like the Model X refresh, it says you could watch movies and listen to music. Well, the whole cabin is going to be pretty much watching this movie or listening to this music. I strongly feel and wish that Tesla implemented some sort of headphone system, so that, because I am the driver, and if my kids are watching something in the back, I don't get to watch it. Like, I don't want to hear it. I want to listen to my music. So I really wish they did something about that, whether it be headphone jacks or Bluetooth headsets. Like, come on, Tesla. So that's why this is on the meh. There is a YouTube video that I will link down in the description below that does a good job at one of the first videos to go over the many different changes that have been announced on the refresh. And one of them is the drive coefficient improvements. And although it does sound great, and probably many of you will agree that it is great, but to me it's still a meh, because it's like it's already doing great at efficiency. So it's not like, oh, I gotta go out and replace my existing Tesla and get this. So that's why I have this meh section. It's not enough for me to just say I'm gonna go and trade in for this. And then the other thing on this list is the front lights are slimmer. I don't believe there's any more fog lights, because usually fog lights are lower to the ground. And then the rear lights are now one piece, so when you pop the trunk, it no longer splits. I mean, it's nice, but it's not something that I would go out and order right away. That's not one of the reasons I would do it. Now, the next section is, okay. They say it is a quieter ride, a 20% improvement in road noise, so that's great. There is now 2 Bluetooth microphones, one over the driver and one over the front passenger. I think this is great because there are times when we have Bluetooth phone calls that both my wife and I talk to the person on the other side of that phone call. So I think it's great, because sometimes if my wife's in the passenger seat and she talks, she doesn't come in as loud as I do, because the microphone's all the way, because the microphone is previously or currently the microphone's focused on the driver, because you're not supposed to be talking on the phone. So I think it's great that they've added microphones on both driver's side and front passenger. There is also improved Wi-Fi connectivity, and they say that you could now be farther away from your home network and it still would be able to connect, so you could download updates and all that. Okay, that's great, fine, sure. Now, improved phone connectivity. I don't have any details on this, it just says it on the website, but currently we are two drivers, my wife and I, and we have two Teslas. And for whatever reason, when I get into the Model X, it still gets confused when, well, both my wife and I get in the Model X and then I drive. She takes priority, even though I marked myself as the priority phone. It still thinks like 95% of the time, even if I get into the driver's seat, that it connects to my wife's phone. It connects to Abby's phone, and it just bugs me because as we're driving, a phone call comes in and it's calling her phone, and now I lose the radio and I get to hear her conversation until she disconnects. So that's a little frustrating. So hopefully what they mean by improved phone connectivity, part of it is like it knows to detect that, okay, the person with this cell phone is seated in the driver's seat and this is the phone the car should connect to. This section is for the big, like, man, have they been spying on my videos? So the first thing is upgraded stereo. So there is now 2 subwoofers and 17 speakers versus 14. This is for the long range dual motor configuration. The standard range has 9 speakers. The USB-C port in the center console can charge up to 65 watts. So now you could charge laptops on that port. I have been charging my iPad and my MacBook Pro there, but it's not charging as fast. I don't think my MacBook Pro even charges. It just uses it as a power source. But I have charged my iPad Pro 2 on there and the USB-C, and it's charging fine, but very slow. I think this is a big wow upgrade. For a person like me anyway, this is very useful. The ultra red color is now available, but in China it's called something else. And the next two are just like... The steering wheel is like the Refresh S and X. You now will be swiping to drive and there are no more stalks. This is a big deal for me and people like me because we both have a Model Y and a Model X. And whenever I have to switch between the two cars, this is the one of the things that always just confuses me. Muscle memory, I don't know. But having very similar steering wheel, swiping and driving, like that is one less thing that just confuses me whenever I have to switch cars. So I think this is a great thing. Many people are probably gonna hate it. Now this might be a good or bad thing, because if people hate that steering wheel, then used Model 3 prices are gonna go up because people will buy those instead of the refresh model. Ventilated seats. They finally put ventilated seats. Now I'm not gonna go out and get a Model 3 just from the list of changes that I've shared with you today, but this is a big thing. Reason being, the next refresh on the line, according to rumors, is the Model Y, which is called Project Jupiter, I think. And so whatever you're seeing in the refresh Model 3, I would assume would also go with the Model Y refresh. So ventilated seats, I think, is a huge thing. It is only in the front, and to me, I don't care because I'm always driving or I'm always sitting in the front. So I've been saying ventilated seats, and finally. So for those who are going to be getting the Project Highland Model 3 refresh, congratulations. Now, I didn't go into how it drives, the range, or anything like that because no one has provided that information online, and obviously it's not available yet to the public. So we'll keep an eye out for those information, but I'm sure it's gonna drive similarly. They did mention in that video that I've shared in the description below that the suspension has been upgraded or changed. We also don't know anything about the Model 3 performance variation. So would you upgrade? Should you upgrade? In my opinion, if you recently purchased a Model 3 within the year to about 2 years, I'm gonna say no, it's not worth the upgrade. Financially, I don't think it's worth it unless you paid off the car and you really are after those changes. Having owned the early 2020 Model 3 long range, and if I didn't get the Model Y performance, and if you have something older than that, then I think this is a pretty good upgrade. But yeah, I think it would be a good upgrade if you have a Model 3 around that time period, because the changes there's a lot. So even between late 2020 and newer to Project Highland, I think there's a lot of changes that you would like if you had an older version of the Model 3. And the other thing is the Model S and the Model X price has dropped. It now starts at $79,000 and it qualifies for the federal tax credit. So if you are in the market for a Model X, I think it's a really good time to buy. The Plaid is now $89,000. We bought our Model X long range at $99,000 base price, and after all the upgrades that we did, it was $109,000. So you mean to tell me I can get a Plaid for $20,000 less? So hopefully the buyback procedure goes in our favor, and we will definitely, it's a no-brainer, get a Plaid. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it. Are you considering upgrading? Are you considering buying a Model 3 now with all the changes? I don't even know when it's going to be available. Many people say it'll be end of fourth quarter to early next year. Who knows? But right now in China, it says delivery start in Q4. So if you liked the video, please like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.